This scholarship program called Ireland Fellows Program is fully funded and will pay your academic fees, visa fee, medical and travel insurance, economy flights to and from Ireland, and the Irish resident permit fee. Other allowances will include a settling in allowance towards items needed on arrival in Ireland, a completion and departure allowance at the end of the study period, a monthly living stipend of €700, a student accommodation arranged and paid for trimester 1 and 2, normally September to May, and in trimester 3 a monthly accommodation stipend of €650 to €850 depending on location in Ireland. Other advantages will include extracurricular activities like training and volunteering opportunities that will help make your experience in Ireland very memorable. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Daddy Cliff here. Today we will be talking about the Ireland Fellows Program Africa. As the name says, this scholarship opportunity in Ireland is mainly for people from Africa. So here are the eligibility criteria. They say to be eligible for an Ireland Fellows Program Africa awards commencing at the beginning of academic year 2024, applicants must be a resident national of one of the countries listed below. You have from Angola, Burundi, going right down to Zambia and Zimbabwe. But it is important to note that they say here, for Burundi, please see both this document and the Courtney Fellowship page. Going right down, for the countries that have been mentioned here, please make sure you read to see the specific requirements that will be required of you in order to apply for this fellowship program to study in Ireland. Before we continue, please, if you know you've not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you will always be informed whenever there are great opportunities like this one. Now, what is the Ireland Fellows Program Africa? As it says here, the Ireland Fellows Program enables early to mid-career professionals from eligible countries with a leadership potential to benefit from a prestigious world-class quality education, contributing to capacity building. As it says there, this scholarship or fellowship program to study in Ireland is for those who are already working in the African countries that were mentioned earlier. If you know you've acquired some level of professional experience, you are then eligible for application for this scholarship opportunity. But then it is important to note that there are some criteria or conditions that must be fulfilled for you to be eligible for this scholarship opportunity. So it says here, it offers selected students the opportunity to undertake a fully funded 1-year master's level program at a higher education institution in Ireland. The award covers program fees, we've already talked about that, and then it says will run for between 10 and 16 months. Basically, that is what the Ireland Fellows Program Africa is all about. You can go ahead and read to have more details. For us not to make the video very long, we will not get into that details. We will look at only the important points. So it says here, for you to be eligible for this scholarship, you must have a minimum of 2 or 3 years substantial work experience that is directly relevant to the proposed program of study depending on the country. So you would have to make sure you look at country specific conditions and make sure you are applying for a program to study in Ireland that is kind of linked to your job. Secondly, you must hold a bachelor's level academic qualification from an accredited and government recognized higher education institution with a minimum grade point of 3.0, 4.0 scale, first class honor or second class honor. Grade 1, a second class honor. Grade 2 may be accepted if the applicant has substantial directly relevant work experience. So work experience is a key to this application, and most importantly, it must have been awarded in 2012 or later, within the last 12 years. Basically, what they are trying to say here is that if you graduated in 2011, you are not eligible for this scholarship opportunity. Next, not already hold a qualification at master's level or higher, not currently undertaking a program at master's level or higher, or be due to start a program at master's level or higher in the academic year 2023-2024. So you must make sure you are not already enrolled for a master's degree. If you are already doing your master's degree, you are not qualified for this program. Next, be applying to commence a new program at master's level in Ireland no sooner than August 2024. So if you know between now and August 2024 you are planning to study in Ireland, then you are eligible to apply for this scholarship opportunity. Next, be able to demonstrate the following skills. You must have leadership abilities and aspiration, a commitment to the achievement of the SDG within your own country, and a commitment to contribute to building positive relationship with Ireland. SDG here simply means Sustainable Development Goals. The next eligibility criteria: have identified and selected 3 programs relevant to your academic and professional background from the directory of eligible programs. So if you click here, you will find the eligible programs. It is important for me to state here that you must make sure you read this document. Let me make it bigger, and it is very important for you to read this document. It will give you a guide, and you would equally find the universities that are available, the universities that you can make your application to get admission into those universities, and then the government of Ireland will fund your studies once you are admitted into that university. And then these are the eligible programs that you can apply to study in the different universities that we just mentioned above. It is important that you go through all of this and make sure you look for a program that is of interest to you, and then you apply to the different universities that are eligible for this program. Make sure you read this document, please. It is very important. That being said, let's continue. Now, there is also English proficiency. It says here, have a clear understanding of the academic and English language proficiencies required for all programs chosen. It is important to also state here that most universities have their English requirement that you must meet, but majority of them will allow people from countries that use English in their universities. And then another one is must not have applied to the Ireland Fellows Program no more than one previous occasion. Make sure you've never applied to this program before. You must be in a position to take up the fellowship in the academic year 2024-2025. In addition, applications are by invitation only in the following countries. And they say here, this means that fellowship in these countries are restricted to the staff of government departments and NGOs which work in partnership with Irish Aid, and to the personnel of organizations that are aligned with Irish Aid development strategy in their country, which have already been identified by the Embassy of Ireland. What they are simply saying here is that if you're coming from any of these countries, you can only apply if you work for your government or an NGO, and you must equally be invited to apply. Now let's look at the application procedure. It is important to note here that there are 3 stages in the application. The first one is stage 1, which is called the preliminary application, and that opens from the 3rd of July and closes on the 30th of July. You still have some time. They say a copy of the stage 1 application form can be found below. In this first stage, the selection panel will have to access your eligibility, and then they will score you. You can have the application form by clicking this link. If you click here, the link will open. You would have to create a username and a password before you can sign in. And then once you have succeeded in this first stage where the panel will have to assess your eligibility, you will then be contacted by the embassy in your home country, and then they would inform you if you were successful or unsuccessful in the first stage. If you are not contacted, please do not contact the embassy in your home country. It is very important that you follow the protocol. And then there is equally stage 2. It says open from 25th of September 2023 and closes on 20th October 2023. It says, if your stage 1 application and your English language test are successful, you will be invited to move on to stage 2 of the process and complete a more detailed application form, including the submission of all required documents. So it is very important, like we said in stage 1, they say our selection panel will assess your eligibility under the various criteria of the program. And then stage 2, they will then ask you to submit all the required documents. We will look at the required documents as we proceed. And then stage 3 will be interview. They've provided here some detailed guideline note for stage 1. It is important to note that the documents will be scanned and sent with the application form. So you would have to provide documents like either your passport, only the identity page is required, or other official identification document if you do not have a passport at this time. So maybe you have an ID card, national ID card, your undergraduate degree award certificate, your final degree academic transcript. Please also include the explanation of the grading system where provided with your transcript or otherwise available. And it is important, your application will not be valid unless the copies of the above documents are included. Now, how do you go about submitting? It says application must be typed and submitted by email to the relevant embassy of Ireland at the email addresses listed below. The application form can be submitted as Microsoft or PDF. They would want you to name the documents the following way. They say please use the following format when naming each of the documents to be attached. Your name, you have to write first your name and then equals to passport. You have to write your names and then equal to undergraduate degree. Your name equals to academic transcript. It is very important that you follow that format when emailing them. Down here you would find the different emails for the different countries. People coming from Ethiopia, Sudan, Djibouti, they would have to use this email. Kenya, Eritrea, Somalia, Sudan will have to use this email. And then you have to go through and make sure that you're using the right email for your country. On this document, there are other important information that you would have to read and understand before you apply. Please make sure you read and understand. Talking about English proficiency, it says English language proficiency. Irish higher education institutions require a high standard of English language proficiency, and this will be verified by English language testing. This is necessary for admission to all Irish higher education institutions with no exception. So they would want you to have IELTS. They want you to have an overall score of 5.6. But what if you don't have any of the required English language testing scores that are required for this application? If you go down, it says here you could be required to take the English test in January or February of 2024, which means you still have some time to take the test. But like I said, there are some universities in the list that will require you to provide an English proficiency from your university if your studies were done in English. And also you can also take other accepted English tests that are the standardized English test if you do not have IELTS. So do not limit yourself to IELTS. Not to make this video very long, it is very important that you make sure you read this document. I'll provide a link down in the description for you to read. In case there are any difficulties, please let me know down in the description, because there are other documents like letter of motivation that you would have to write to support your application. Make sure you go through this application and understand the necessary documents. You would equally have to provide documents like reference letters from 2 academic referees and other documents that you would have to read and understand in this document. You would equally have to provide your curriculum vitae and make sure you follow the application process. Please guys, the video has been very long. I wish you the best in your application as you apply for this scholarship. That being said, if you know you've not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe so that you will not miss opportunities like this one whenever they come along. And also remember, if you have Duolingo, you can equally use it as an English requirement to apply for this Irish Fellow Program Africa. That being said, guys, I wish you the best in your application, and I will see you in the next